check the back channel.
Okay, hold on. Juju, is that you? Juju?
Yeah.
Okay, go to your.
Fascinated, but we're not going to do that.
We have some relations. We have some relations with indigenous people from America, man.
Combine the German and the Turk and just call him a jerk. There you go.
Oh, Cora, you are so fucked up. Cora's a Nazi. Cora is a Nazi.
That was really good. Stop it. Only a German like you would know what a Nazi is. But hold on. This is my question. Are all the Abrahamic religions masochistic?
We don't follow Abraham. We don't follow Abraham.
If I were still working for Uncle Sam and I was looking at what our adversaries are doing in the information space, I would know, holy shit, this is a problem. Russia today is following what Candace Owens is doing with respect to Charlie Kirk. The asking of questions and the media response to what she's asking. When I was in government, that was always an indicator because Russia today and some other outlets are the West.
Oh, good. You were patient. How long have you been waiting?
Oh, I've been playing my flute over here for about 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. Your flute.
Chinese flute. Have you ever played a drone flute before?
A drone flute?
Yeah, it's called a drone head. It's like a.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Well, if you have two flutes, you can make your own drone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've played around with stuff. I've had a lot to do with music in my life, so yeah.
Yeah. I really just like mixing it all up. It's so nice to, have abundance, so you never get bored.
Yeah, abundance, of course, is a sort of loose word. Yeah, but as long as you're not hurting for stuff and you've got everything you need so you can get on with what you're interested in doing, that's abundance.
Yeah, space and stuff. I think Alan Watts said something to the extent of it's a question of, what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to put it? Who's going to clean it?
Yeah. I got rid of most of my stuff. Whatever I've got some expensive stuff. The stuff I've got I really like, but I don't have much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need much.
I knew this Greek family that has a lot of real estate, and the husband was a orthopedic surgeon, very successful, and he had a warehouse full of antiques that he had been collecting for like 40 years. And I said to his son, I was like, what do you are you looking forward to dealing with all of that in the future? He goes, when I think about it, it causes me terrible anxiety.
Yeah, you just sell it. Go buy a boat. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just playing music over here, enjoying my night. And I was reading the Dhammapada by the Buddha. And kind of interesting. It repeats. They leave no trace, like the path of birds in the sky. Like a migrating bird leaves no trace of a track in the sky. So it's kind of like a heron, you know. Birds don't leave tracks in the sky. So it's just like a metaphor for a flow state.
Yeah.
No blockages, which is like the Zen aspect.
Yes. Yeah. Well, good luck trying to straighten all that shit out.
Well, you know, so much of this is all just therapeutic for people who have, I would say, in some ways, obsessive compulsive disorder.
Oh, almost everybody. Yeah, that's part of a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's not always a disorder, and it's a spectrum. You know, I mean, it can be a blessing. Actually, I've got what I call FCD, which is focused, committed disposition, and it's sort of like OCD in some ways, but except I'm focused on some really interesting shit instead of not stepping in the cracks in the sidewalk, or making sure that I turn the oven off or something.
Mm-hmm.
So FCD is my superpower. OCD is can be destructive.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what trichinosis is?
It has something to do with pork, doesn't it?
I think it's also like I'd have to Google it to confirm it, but I think it's like people who pull their hair out.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was thinking of some disease.
No, I think that is the pig. That's the pig disease, I think, too. I'd have to, I don't know. I'm not going to Google
Well, whatever. Yeah. There are lots of, all sorts of interesting, OCD symptoms. You know, I've got a few minor ones that are, not particularly helpful, but they're trivial, and so it's not an issue. I'm lucky that I got 3 really good ones.
Hmm. Hey, do you think you've ever seen a miracle in your life?
Well, I've had one experience that I just have no way to explain. I'm not sure I'd call it a miracle, but it was just off the charts weird. So I don't know. I wouldn't call it a miracle necessarily.
Well, what was the experience?
A dream that turned out to be true. I had a dream one night. Anyway, a guy got killed on a motorcycle in this dream, but it was a really disturbing dream. It woke me up. I was unable to go back to sleep for like an hour, or it was really a very disturbing dream and very real. It was unlike any dream I've ever had before. Anyway, I went back to sleep, and by the morning when I woke up, I'd forgotten about it. But the next day, I get a phone call from. It's a long story. Anyway, the son of a guy I was studying to be a piano tuner at the time. So I had this guy I was apprenticed to. His son was killed on a motorcycle at the exact time I had that dream.
Wow.
But it was a completely different circumstances. In reality, he was on the freeway and he got a flat tire and he dropped the bike and he was run over by a truck behind him. Mm-hmm. And in the dream, it was a train. It was a guy doing weird shit. I mean, it was completely different circumstance, and yet there you go. What the hell do you make out of that? I don't know. And I didn't even know the guy. I mean, I don't think I'd ever even met him. Mm-hmm. I knew his father. Because I spent a couple days a week in his garage, rebuilding pianos. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember us ever really talking about his son or anything. It's weird, just strange that would have happened.
I don't think I've seen a miracle or like had any. I've never had any dreams that have some kind of correlation or like.
Yeah. No, I never have either. This is a one-up deal for me. I would say it's the only thing in my life that is sort of unsettled.
I mean, I know people that have passed on in, pretty traumatic ways, which are extremely disturbing, especially when you witness it or see it. and you see death up close.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different thing, man. That's not many people have that opportunity.
Well, if you work in the medical industrial, I guess you do.
Oh yeah. Oh, and you see it every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah, depending upon what department you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, mortality. That's a big one.
Yeah, I remember my uncle said to me once, he's like, "Oh, you had your first taste of mortality." I was like, "Yeah, shit, you were right." It's the first time I've ever experienced, that medical situation where it's an emergency and you're like, "Oh, my life is being threatened here." But what was I was going to ask you is not about miracles, but like, have you ever experienced like synchronicity where you're like, wow, I can't believe all this, happened in succession
Oh,
just the way
my
it did?
whole life seems like that to me now. I mean, Alan Watts just came blasting into my life out of nowhere. It's like the universe imposed itself on me. you know. So yeah.
I was thinking about him today because there's so much stuff about, well, I don't know. We just live in such a crazy polarized time, and maybe it's always been like that, but Watts, I get the feeling that Watts and his philosophy and his background, being from England and having that accent and his Buddhist, anyways, I'm just saying that America was like the perfect garden for him to thrive.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, he landed. He still is having a huge impact. People are still learning about him now and listening.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of Christians really learn Christianity from him.
Really?
Yeah. Because
And why are they still Christians?
because they never got the big message, the big picture message. The big picture message of Jesus is that you too are.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's a difference between understanding the concept and getting it. And a lot of people understand the concept, but they haven't got a clue. They don't get it. It's just an idea, a theory in their head that they like.
Well, it is all theoretical. I mean,
No, not until you get it.
But you can get it, but you're still so susceptible to, aches and pains and everything else.
Oh, that's a whole separate issue. Yeah, but that's just, you got to deal with your sensory data, whatever that is, you deal with it. But your maps aren't getting in the way if you're dealing effectively with whatever it is you're dealing with.
Well, anyways, I mean, it's just you witness so much friction in conversations and communication.
Oh yeah, amongst the Homo sapiens, yes, yeah, they love that shit. Well, especially here in Clubhouse.
My mom was describing to me what I would consider like psychotic or even just like delusional thinking.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how aggressive we are. You look at animals.
Oh, you mean those
humans.
Homo sapiens?
Yeah, Homo sapiens. Yeah,
or you still identify as one of those, huh? Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, compared to the natural world, you don't see bees, complaining, fighting. You don't see flowers fighting. You just.
Well, you do see shit. I mean, stuff goes wrong. There are problems in all aspects of reality. Things bump up against each other, but it works out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would call that bumping into each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're at a turning point in Earth's history right now. I mean, the next 20 years outside, we're going to see the total reformation of this Earth. A new civilization is emerging, and an old one is collapsing. Right as we arrive, perfect timing.
Do you think that's what's always happening? It's just generational, then.
I think this has been a moment that we've been moving towards for 4 billion years. I think Earth is a living organism with its own developmental natural phases, and it's going through a kind of metamorphosis right now. And are embedded subsystems.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's not the only map, but that's the map at that level. I mean, for me personally, there's other maps that are, but on the larger level, that's the way I see it.
You know, in terms of like brain science, or brain experiences, or brain hacking, or brain synthesis, like ways to use your brain, which is not ordinary. And what I'm trying to say is that like I've had experiences where it's almost like I'm above the witness, or I am essentially like aware of my awareness, in this weird, like, the whole
Yeah,
duality
yeah.
versus
Listen,
non-duality.
and this was precisely the area that cannot be captured with language.
Right.
And that's really frustrating because you want to make sense of it, you want to fit it into a story, and you can, but you have to make up a story that works for you.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anything out there that again, like I use metamorphosis to try and understand what's happening on Earth. I mean, that's clearly not what's happening on Earth, but it's the best model. Embryology and metamorphosis are the only models that I have to try to understand this larger system.
Well, I guess it's just gnosis is what I'm describing. Like the ancient Babylonian symbol is a chicken head man, where it's the face of a man with a chicken head coming out of his like top of his head, meaning that either it's two brain halves or one consciousness, or anyways, I'm just saying like symbolically it might be possible to represent it, but not through words, but through a symbol.
Well, you can use words too. It's just that words are, again, that you just have to recognize the limitations there. That words won't do it, but they can point sometimes beyond themselves. And that's the difference between poetry and analysis.
Mhm.
Analysis is crucial but limited, and poetry is pretty sloppy, but it can go all sorts of interesting places.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
But you just can't confuse those two. Poetry is one thing and analysis is something else, and they're both useful.
I wonder what it was like before, IBM, where everything was just books, electricity was just taking off. And so, therefore, if you were intelligent, you were fully immersed in books. But then I guess there's a question of access and what you're reading and what you're doing.
Well, I just have been, well, you're calling yourself a musician. I'm a big fan of Haydn's piano trios. And I studied music in college. I have a degree in music, and I've been thinking about it recently. And I started talking to ChatGPT, and I found out something that I never knew before. Haydn made I think it said it's like between 30 and 40% of his income from selling sheet music for amateur musicians who at home in the evening got together and played Haydn piano trios instead of listening to the Beatles or whoever's getting together with their friends and listening to somebody else do music. They got together in the evenings and performed music. And they had their friends over. And there was a whole society in London and Vienna built about this. There's a whole collection, a culture of amateur musicians who were really good. And it was this emerging middle class that,
Wow.
because of the Industrial Revolution, their parents had enough money to afford a piano, and the kids could afford to spend time studying piano because they didn't have TV or radio or any other damn thing to do. They had books but there was this whole society of people who played music together with their friends instead of listened to it.
Yeah.
God, imagine a world like that.
I think people, I don't know, society is rapidly decayed.
This is over. It worked for a while, but this is the end of the
Well,
civilization that has emerged in the beginning of the first global civilization.
I mean, I live in a part of Chicago called Jefferson Park, and there's a big gymnasium here called Jefferson Park, Field House. It's Chicago Park District building, very large.
Yeah.
And once a week, I see, a whole orchestra gather to go in there to practice together.
Oh, cool.
And
Cool.
most beautiful women, and it's so interesting when you see them. And
How big a group is it?
I've never actually been in it, but I assume it's at least 30 people.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Why isn't you going? Can't you go in and listen?
I could. I just so busy with what I'm doing here that I feel like, I would like to listen to it. But anyways, actually in December coming up soon, there's the Chicago Symphony very close by. I got to try to get a ticket for that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's at what's called the Copernicus Center, which is
I generally don't like live concerts because the audio is usually terrible. Good audio on my computer is way better than anything you're ever going to hear at a concert hall, unless there's some special reason, some performer who's got some live in-person thing going that makes it worth. But if it's just to listen to an orchestra perform, I would never go to a concert. It's just shitty sound.
It's very affordable. It's tomorrow at 7.
What are they playing?
It's just called the Citywide Symphony Holiday Concert.
Oh, but there's no list of the music they're playing? It's probably from the Nutcracker.
Yeah. It's at a Polish amphitheater, so.
Cool.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I'd like to do that. I'd like to have a date to go.
Yeah. Well, what you really want to do is get laid after that.
Oh, before it, after it, in the morning,
During,
the next
whatever,
day.
yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next subject.
So I, think that all communication is hypnosis, and I could give examples of that.
Yeah, no, I got no problem with that.
Interestingly, when I try to ask people to participate in an experiment, some people are very resistant. Some people are open to the suggestion and the fun of the hypnosis experiment, but other people immediately resist it, and they're not. They will not participate.
Yeah, well, that's some. Yeah, well, you know to expect that, and just move on. Just identify them as quickly as possible and get them off the stage.
Yeah, it's also interesting pointing out to people that they've, just participated in a hypnosis experiment, and then when you ask them, when you point out to them when you point it out to them that they just did what you asked them to do and what they're doing prior to that, they are modifying their behavior in a way which is their personality. So, anyways, it's just the way people present themselves in their speech. And,
Well, of course, people are also multiple. They have different selves for different situations. They're one way with their mother, and another way with a coworker, and another way with their lover, and they don't have to worry about transgressing things. It's all automatic who they are in each of those situations.
Mm-hmm.
We're all multiple personalities. The problem with people who are diagnosed with multiple personalities is that they don't have enough. They lost the ability to generate new ones. So by the time they hit their early 20s and they move out of their home, they can't generate new personalities. They got a bunch of immature children, basically, and they're within a year or two, they're fucked up. Healthy people, if you change jobs, you're awkward as hell for a week or two, but after a while you develop a new self that works in that environment, and we do that consistently.
Mm-hmm.
We constantly work into new situations and develop patterns to deal with them. But some people lost that ability, and then we call them multiple personality disorder. But it's just the opposite. They don't have enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you view the self as being the universe, it's infinite. So I've heard Alan
Oh,
Watt.
big self, you mean? Okay, I was talking about little selves.
Well, little self can mirror big self. I'm just saying, if you don't realize that, you don't get that everything is a little bit performative in a way. I mean, I see doctors shooting advertisements and I can't stop laughing because I'm like, that's performative, like those two people aren't going to get me in the gym, so it's like, I'm just saying communication, everybody is, a human being. And when people make
Everybody's
advertisements,
marketing.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
is marketing.
yeah,
Well, not everybody. But even if you're not marketing, then that becomes a form of marketing.
right. Well, I
You
mean,
know, I mean,
the cell phone has just changed communication in such a crazy way that credibility is created from the phone as opposed to like what's actually in the person. And
yeah, and that doesn't work. I mean, and we're finding that out. That's not a problem. That's all going to collapse. There's only one way you can really have a relationship with someone, and that's the way we're doing it right now, by talking to one another and doing it over a period of time.
yeah,
You know, typing messages back and forth. That's,
yeah,
I mean, that's fun, I guess. I don't know. I don't spend any time doing that, but that's not communication. That's not getting to know somebody or thinking about anything. That's just, well, it's just Homo sapiens misbehaving, or just that's just what they do. That's what the old species does. They don't have a clue about what's actually happening.
well, also I think you can get fooled very easily in communication and not realize you're talking to a ghost or a scam or somebody in Nigeria. And
Well, you can be fooled if you. Yeah, most people. You're right. Most people can be fooled. I'm really hard to fool now. I mean, I used to be. I mean, I'm quite aware of what you're saying. It's been a long time since I've been fooled.
yeah,
It's possible, I'm sure, but it would take quite a undertaking, or some very special. I don't know what it would take, but certainly it's possible that. Again, I'm not identified with the voice in my head. I listen to it. And I hear when it's full of shit,
hmm,
and I notice it. And if it's significant, I deal with it.
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything specific about you. I'm just thinking about
No. It's
language.
true for almost everybody, though. You're right. I mean, most people literally are a bunch of brain damaged language monkeys, totally under the spell of the voice in their head and hypnotized by it.
Well, it's not just the voice in your head. It's what you're listening to outside of
Well,
the head.
it's all of that. It's everything. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny though. I think the voice in the head is probably the. Uh, it's hard to say, like whether the voice in the head is more problematic than the voices you hear outside of the head, or what's transmitted in, because it is just one unified
The
system.
inside is most important,
So
because that will determine how you interpret what you're getting from the outside.
So, from a therapeutic perspective, if somebody is having depressive symptoms and negative self speech, if you want to condition that person and suggest to them, intelligent ways of dealing with their
Yeah,
emotions,
yeah,
etc., pro-
yeah,
programming them with, like, I was working with this girl today, and I said, "Say out loud, the more I think." She repeated after me, word to word. This is like a hypnosis session that she
yeah.
agreed to. And the statement is, the more I think, the more I speak, the further from the truth I'm going to get. And then, explain to me, what does that mean? And so that's where you can test comprehension and understanding of that maxim, you might call it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not. I don't have any general rules. First, I just have to talk to, because some people aren't going to respond. Some people have organic issues, especially in depression. That ain't going to get fixed by changing the way they talk. If it's an organic issue, if it's not, then they're game for my game stuff. But yeah, there's lots of approaches to this. But depression is something I've come to, at least most of the things I've run into is I think it's largely organic. They've got some chemical imbalance, and talking about it doesn't seem to make much difference.
Mhm. Well, not talking about it, but talking about the true self as opposed to your obsessive compulsive, personality projection.
Well, that's good. Like I said, my sense is that talking like that to the people, any impact whatsoever. They hear it, they come back the next day with exactly the same attitude and the same thing. Nothing makes any difference to them. And my sense is because it's not totally talk related. There's maybe some organic issue here that needs to be dealt. Chemicals can make a huge difference. I mean, Prozac made a huge difference in a large number of people's lives. It got out of control after that, but for some people, that they've been struggling with years with all sorts of shit, and after a month on Prozac, they were back to they didn't have that problem anymore. Period. It was gone. But
You
that
mean
was rare. I mean,
you
it
mean
didn't work.
depressive? You mean depressive episodes?
I mean, people
other
who were
things.
diagnosed as being depressed. I don't remember all the
Right.
MDS categories for all this shit, but back then it was depression. That was the major thing that Prozac was in for, and it had a huge impact on a small percentage of people.
hmm Well, when I got out of the army, I had totally debilitating back pain. Hunched over with a.
Oh yeah, shit.
And it wasn't from a military accident. It was just a mind body disorder.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, really? A mind body? Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever read Dr. John Sarno's How to Cure Your Back Pain, but mind body meaning that I just had built up sadness, built up rage, built up
Yeah.
anger, had a lot of repressed emotion. But
Okay. Yeah.
also, I think it was just a lack of like yoga and, basic yoga, consistent, maybe even, a lot more was needed physically. Just saying that.
Well, yeah. Maybe you just abused your back, and it was paying you back, and you wised up and started taking
No,
care of it.
well, it was like compulsive. The crazy thing is, I had so much money saved, but yet I'm still working nonstop. Um,
Okay.
anyways,
Yeah. So you were
I
an
was
idiot.
stressing myself out. Yeah, it was really,
Yeah.
really
You're not
stupid.
doing that now, right?
No, no,
Okay. Good. Congratulations.
no. I would say also the thing that I was lacking was wisdom, like access to wisdom books, let alone
You will
continuing
always be
education.
lacking wisdom.
I agree, but what I'm saying at that time, I was not. I don't think I was doing that much continuing education in terms of reading, and so, anyways, that's why I say when I say mind body, I mean that my brain was inducing the back pain to course correct maybe behavior and try to force the issue of like a conscious awakening or something,
Yeah. Well, who knows? Yeah. It's
or a
good to
conscious
examine these
expansion.
things.
Yeah, because I meet people that have back pain, shoulder pain, foot pain, and so much of it could, there's just so many reasons possibly why it could be breathing. It could be,
Yeah.
so it's something interesting to meet when you
Well,
meet
I say
somebody.
something. See, I've got a lot of back pain myself, but I mean, my stuff is all organic. I mean, it's going to require some surgery at some point, maybe. Unless there's a miracle. You never can tell. I'm open to it. But yeah, I've got scoliosis,
Mhm.
and I don't know of any way around that.
No,
I mean,
I
I can
think
live with
I think it's one of those things you got to work around it, meaning that
Yeah, well, it's just there, and so I just arrange my life so that I'm maximally flexible and movable and do the best I can. Walking is a problem. I need a cane. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem walking around the house. Well, actually, I'm a little unstable. but again, this is just all physical stuff that's a result of. I was way overweight for like 30 years,
Mm.
and that just wrecked my lower back.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I can live with that. I mean, it's just that's what it is, you know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I did a very delicate yoga class one time where it was just the most minimal movements,
Yeah.
but putting your legs up on a chair. But I do have this strap here at home now that I use on a yoga mat, and I listen to Clubhouse while I'm doing the yoga and doing very intense stretching. And when I listen to these brain dead monkey robots, screech nonstop.
May I suggest that you not subject yourself to those brain damaged language monkeys? You don't need that input, especially while you're doing yoga. I would suggest when you do your yoga, you pay attention to your breathing and how your body feels as you explore those areas of tension and not pain, but that whole transitional area. You goddamn stop listening to Clubhouse. Maybe listen to some good music.
Well, I was kind of gonna crack a joke, but I do use Suno, and oh god, this is the smartest thing I don't know if this could be like the smartest thing I've ever done, but I know it's not that smart. But so my friend messaged me. He said I was listening to your music, and this one song really, really, stuck in my head. I couldn't stop thinking about it, stop singing it to myself. So
wait, was it one you created?
Yeah, I created it.
Yeah, okay.
The lyrics are take the deepest breath of the day and hold it for 10 seconds. 10, not 11, 10, not 9. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Take the deepest breath. And I did variations of it.
Right, yeah.
But what's interesting about it is when you're listening to a song that constantly tells you to keep breathing, sure enough, because all communication is hypnosis, you start breathing more listening to a song about doing breathing.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've been messing around a little bit with Suno myself, and I'm thinking I may be able to use it in this course that I'm going to be teaching for certain kinds of mental exercise, and you just clued me into another way I might be able to use it.
Yeah, you can.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was putting in other statements like mixing it in, saying love is the law, love under will, and taking kind of spiritual maxims and peppering that into the breathing exercise.
Yeah, it's interesting how you can. I just put in plain text. I mean, it was a joke actually. Well, it's a long story anyway, but it's just takes about 3 minutes to tell the joke, and that was what I just wrote it as a joke. There's no rhyme, there's no nothing. It's just a joke, but it turned it into this great ballad. It's just amazing. You don't have to even worry about rhyme or anything. You just write any goddamn thing, and it makes it work. It's stunning.
I know that is an amazing part. That is an amazing feature of it, isn't it? How it regulates the voice to.
It makes it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really remarkable.
Actually, it's probably pretty trivial, but
yeah.
And the other thing is that I think this is pretty much going to be the end of a huge number of popular musicians, because the shit that Suno creates is certainly as good as 80% of the popular music that I hear out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to it that much, but I mean, it's good. I'm impressed, and it's better than a lot of the shit I hear. At least I like it better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that affects the music industry.
Suno is now a top 100 app, and it's valued at over 3 billion. And
really, yeah.
It's gotten even better. Like they keep updating it, but the functionality of it, it's amazing how people are.
AI is changing the world. Like I say, a new world is on its way. Really, a whole new fucking civilization is emerging. This is typical of it, of what's going to happen. We're free. We will be free. In 20 years or less.
You know what's interesting about the command prompts is I feel people are so timid and they're not used to asking or demanding what they want. But in an AI environment, you can truly demand whatever you can think. And so that is, to me, like the most liberating aspect of talking to Grok or talking to Suno and writing in what I want.
Yeah.
That and also you can on X you can message anyone, which is really what Alan Watts was. Alan Watts was so ahead of his time. He was talking about the internet. He's like, in the future, you'll be able to ping anybody
Yeah.
immediately, instant. And so
Yeah, well, you
X,
can't really do that, though. I mean, you can, but the chances that they're actually the person you really want to get to is actually going to get your message.
well, they may not get it immediately, but in 3 weeks or even 3 years, it's possible that they go back and actually
Well,
look at the notifications.
Yeah, but that's no good for. Like I say, I'm involved in various projects and stuff, and I'm seriously attempting to get in or communicate with several people in the AI and linguistics area, and getting a hold of these people is not easy. I got their email addresses at the universities, but clearly they're getting hundreds of emails a day.
Right.
Okay. And they're not reading through all of those things. They've got somebody whose job is to go through that shit and figure out which ones to give to him and which ones to trash.
Mm-hmm.
So I just emailed 2 things off today. We'll see whether they get through. I have no idea.
I mean, I would take your Gendo, the thing that I read that one time where I was like, I should turn this into an audiobook for him. But just
which one are you talking about?
It was like all your quotes and sayings that you had stored up.
All the quotes. That's a perfect. You're right. That's a perfect. Oh shit! That's so obvious. Why didn't I think? Thank you for coming in and telling me that.
Yeah.
That's so fucking obvious. Yeah, I've got all the fucking text I could possibly ever need.
You had a lot. It was amazing. Exactly. Yeah. If you feed that into Suno,
cool. That's awesome.
That'll be a trip for you because
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. As soon as I get you offline here, I'm gonna go start looking and seeing. Which ones are we gonna? Thing is, I'm not paying for it, so I got pretty limited usage of it.
What's amazing too is when you do. I like the lowest tier package is $10. That's about 250 songs. But the speed at which
$10. $10. What, a month is that or what?
Yeah, it's month to month. You can cancel.
Okay, so you can get it. So the cheapest on Suno is $10 a month.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I may have to. Okay. Go on.
So what's amazing is if you are on your phone and you got your Gendo open or you're on some poetry website, the speed at which you can just dump song after song. I mean, I can literally create like one song every, anyways, I'm just saying that it doesn't limit you. It's amazing.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
It's just
it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's
and like I say, the stuff it produces is as good as 80% of the stuff I hear on the radio.
I know. Isn't it just mind-boggling?
Yeah.
And I think about all these people in churches and religious organizations that spent so many years in choir and practicing and and
Well, see, that's still great. There's still room for real musicians doing real music because that's cool in and of itself.
It's very cool, and it is Zen, and it's very.
And what? It's the difference in capitalism is the thing that fucks everything up here. Is fucking money. If it wasn't for money, there would be no issues about any of this stuff. People would make music or art because they love making music and art, and they get famous if everybody else likes it, but it would have nothing to do with money or livelihood or anything like that.
Well,
that's the new world we're moving into.
What I find so interesting about communication in the human brain is when you look at like Milli Vanilli or Britney Spears, they were all these musicians lip sync, whether they're on the stage at the Super Bowl or they're. Anyways, so what I'm trying to say is what's interesting is if you were a I know this musician, she put on her, and she's pretty successful, but she still posted, I effing hate AI music. But to me, I think she just needs to open up a new profile and start creating new AI music under a different corporate name or a different brand name. It's like, why are you angry about it? You're not even experimenting.
I don't waste my time trying to convince people that they should be excited about this. If they got that, I got more fun things to do than worry about holding their hand and all their anxiety about this shit. Fuck them.
Also, I think with Suno, what would be interesting. So I haven't. There's a video functionality in there. I tried to upload a video, it didn't work, but I'm gonna try again. But the video functionality of it is interesting. But what would also be interesting is if you create a script and you hire an actress to lip sync your script and create a music video, but using, what you think is your awesome song. It's just kind of an interesting way to try to test it because you're really every time you submit a video to YouTube, you're really testing the algorithm and the actual response. So, in terms of like film theory, video theory, sound theory, what is the optimal um, blend between picture and sound? Multiple pictures as a film. So, as an engineer, how do you reverse engineer a brain's response to what it's seeing? And if you can do it at scale and at quality. Anyways, I'm just saying that Suno is like must be mind blowing for musicians who have spent their whole lives making music, and when you see how it like,
Yeah,
I don't know
the
how
thing
to
is
think
that
about
that's
it.
just that's going to change. Again, this is going to change because the difference is between consuming music and creating music. Okay, you're still consuming it. You're not creating it. You're writing some lyrics, but you're not creating music. You're not a musician.
Right.
Okay, but there are people who are musicians.
Right.
And they get together and jam and improvise and have fun inventing new music on the spot. That's a great joy and art. And that'll never go away. Okay? That's there. It's just a separate issue. That's there. And now you've got the Suno shit. And anybody can take any fucking lyrics. They don't even have to write them themselves. Or they can ask Suno to write the lyrics for them.
No, you can't. Well, maybe you can. I don't know.
Yes,
You're
you
right.
can. You can tell it subject matter, I think. Can't you?
I mean, I actually haven't done
I
that.
don't know. But in any case.
You're probably right. I actually haven't done
Well,
that.
whatever. Again, like you can just paste something in, you copy it out of the newspaper. It doesn't really make any difference. And it makes something that's as good as 80% of the shit I hear on the radio. I mean, how the hell do you deal with that? What are you supposed to think about that? If I can sit there and copy some text out of the newspaper and create a song that's better than 80% of the bullshit that's out there already, well, what the fuck?
Well, that kind of isn't it weird how we consume all this content, all this media, but then when you see with the click of a button and your product is just as good as all the stuff you've ever listened to. I'm not saying I have buyer's remorse, because a lot of the content I have viewed my whole life is, just amazing stuff.
Well, that was a different time. You didn't have any options then. Now it's different. You can't compare them.
So this is
you wanna
just for
make yourself-
music, but there will come a time, I assume, when you'll be able to make movies just out of your
Well, hey,
prompts.
listen, it's already here. You can do it already. There's
Well,
short movies. They're
yeah, they're
30
short,
seconds or
yeah.
2 minutes or something, but no, it's already
Oh,
here.
Sora, yeah. Have you used
5
Sora?
years from now, like I say, there's a new probably there won't be any more. Well, there will still be actors. There will still be actors, and there will still be plays on stages for people. That's still a thing. But for movies, my sense is that may become totally generated without any. I mean, that directors obviously, the director and writer, but the AI will actually make the whole goddamn movie. But again, there will be people who want to make movies too. But that's just a separate. They're just different things. That's all.
God, it's amazing is I had this restaurant review business where I was filming restaurant reviews, and then I started hiring people who were also like legit filmmakers. Either they went to film school or that, they and when I would watch their edits, I was like, wow, it's like this is so much better than what I can do and what I do. I'm the laziest, editor in the world. Like it was amazing. So anyways, I'm just trying to think like, would it be possible in some way to actually recruit and hire people to sit there and make AI videos on your platforms that can be monetized, and
Oh,
do
I
it.
think that within a couple of years, you won't need those people. You just do it yourself. You just
Well, what
go
I'm
to the
saying is
guy,
if
tell it what you want, and you have it. Period. 2 years from now.
well, what I'm saying is if I'm so good at it, I mean, and I know that other people are better than me, it should be possible to hire people to sit there and work 8 hours a day and pay them $20 an hour to sit there and create videos because they're generating, $50 an hour in revenue.
Listen, is your sole purpose in life making money?
No, but I like the concept of like mass producing art like Andy Warhol, at his silver factory.
Well, that's what I'm doing with my. Do you know about the project that I'm doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess no, not really.
The imaginary landscapes thing and the website. Have you been there?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
let me,
is it in your profile thing with your link tree?
no, but I'm going to paste it in here. I'll put it in the chat. Yes, here we are. Yeah, where is the chat? Is that the chat? Yes, that's the chat. Okay, there is a link. This is the site. I've got this huge art project that's aimed at the corporate world to fill up their corridors and their conference centers and stuff. They buy lots of art in mass, and that's what this is aimed at. And so this is the site that I'm going to direct. There are maybe 10 companies in the world that are the main suppliers of art to the corporate world on the planet. So I'm only going to send this to maybe 10 or 15 companies.
Oh, yeah, I know you. This is your library basically, then, huh?
Well, this is my sales pitch to the corporate world. So.
Oh wow.
Basically, well, yeah. Anyway, that's just about done. Within another couple weeks, probably, I'm going to start sending this out and see what happens. It could be really amazing, or it could be just a dull thud when it hits the floor. So I have no idea how anybody's going to respond to this.
Let me show you what my aunt does. She has been painting people's pets for 30 years.
Well, and how do they get the paint off those pets? They have to take them to the pet wash afterwards.
Yeah, so she's on all these websites where she sells her prints.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she makes a living doing that?
My mom is her harshest critic, but I'm looking at what she does, and maybe you'll like the art. It's pretty impressive, in my opinion.
Wait, does she make a living doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna put a link in the.
Yeah, let me get you the link.
Chat there.
I've never actually Googled. This is the first time I've Googled her art, and it came up right away. My mom has a really nice piece of like a Mexican, Southwest old. It's very weird. It's on display. Yeah, she's on this e-commerce platform called Fine Art America. Maybe you could list your catalog.
No, I don't want to. I'm not selling to individuals. I'm selling. I want to sell 200 pieces at a time.
Well, anyways, that's the link because I just Googled my aunt's name.
Holy shit. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, this is and these are pictures. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, she's got her own style, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yep. Very distinct. It's her every painting.
Oh yeah, okay, the color, yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, she's got a really identifiable view. Yeah, she likes purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are real. That's because they're identifiable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
and
it.
These are prints?
Yeah, I assume this website might even print them, and then however you
Yeah,
want.
right. They don't print them until somebody wants it, buys it. Yeah.
Maybe they have framing service. I don't know. There's a gallery near my house. She's been there. I think she said 50 years. Polish woman who's basically just an art, like a local art broker.
Yeah.
Um, but she has like a framing business there, and she really does it, and really, God, she has so many frames, old frames. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I used to be sort of involved in that world for a couple of years, but God, I'm so happy to just do digital shit now. I don't want anything to do with frames and well, other people. Well, again, if this deal works, I won't have to deal with any of that shit. That's what the company is for. They will deal with the printing and framing and delivery of all that shit. Yeah, for me, the fun is just doing the art. Making money on it is just an afterthought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One project I did with this a guy that I met on a forum called Wicked Fire. It's like a group of online advertisers and publishers that work
Yeah.
in direct response mostly. Across like a lot of different categories. Could be car insurance. It could be. Anyways, I can't believe it. The site is still up. But anyways, we figured we were advertising ringtones, and so we created a product that if you say you put in 1,000 keywords like Mariah Carey or Britney Spears, it would create 8 banner images with all of Google's format sizes. And so we were mass uploading all these automated banner images into Google and running ads on corresponding websites, and acting as like a broker or a media buyer on behalf of the advertiser. And that guy that I worked with, I couldn't stand him though. And that's like a me thing. But I couldn't stand him, so I ended up ending the business relationship. And but he went on to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. And that was.
He's still an asshole.
I don't know if he was an asshole. It could have been me who was the asshole, probably.
Well, you could have both been assholes.
Could have both been assholes. But anyways, it was just I didn't play it right because, he was the real talent. He was a real software developer.
Yeah.
And I could never. Maybe I should have even have asked him, okay, how do you do this? Like maybe he could have actually taught me what he was doing, but I guess it was a me thing because I had no patience at the time.
Well, that was you then. You learn. That's sort of the point of life is you do stupid things, and if you're paying attention, you don't do those, and you do something different next time and see how that works. And that's a process that goes on throughout your entire life if you're continuing to grow and learn.
Yeah, what I find interesting about working with a software developer is basically whatever you can think of and whatever you can put on paper, a software developer or a designer can technically, put on the internet. So whether it's programmatic and software, this is one more interesting thing I'll tell you that maybe is of interest to you. At Google, I worked at Google as a contractor, and so let's say Procter and Gamble or some other major corporation, well, they would task me with building out this bed bug spray, an advertising campaign for bed bug spray. And you can just Google search and find out where all the bed bugs are. It's in the Rust Belt. But what my point is Google has this internal tool called Wildcat. And if you just put in the term bed bugs, it'll give you all the associated keywords that are relevant to bed bug and the search volume, monthly, yearly, 5 years, etc. And the time, the day, the year, like everything associated to that keyword in Google's databases comes up. And then you can even.
You have to pay for this, I assume. Is this available to anybody or what?
There are corresponding tools on the outside that have reverse engineered it, and you can pay a monthly fee to get access to.
Okay.
It's called like Keyword Spy or something. I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, what's just so fascinating is associated keywords because those are people's thoughts, and you can actually really see, so like especially in terms of e-commerce, you can really see what people are thinking.
Yeah,
Like
no, that
it's
makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot. Well, that's why AI is so smart. It's all there.
right.
It's all out there.
Google is amazing, like this AI war. So when you're working with a Google product now, it will come up and give you AI suggestions and all kinds of alternative ideas that you would never
Yeah,
do. And it's just forcing the AI creation tools into your workflow.
yeah,
It's pretty amazing.
yep. It's coming. No stopping it. Yeah. 5 years.
But what's coming? Because I mean, right now it's like a creative boom. If you're a creative person, it's like you have all the
Well, a
tools to.
huge amount of unemployment is going to come out of this. That's going to create all sorts of interesting stuff, which is quite unpredictable.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, but
Homelessness is a major problem. I saw this tiny village that they built, and I think it was like 30 tiny houses.
yeah, I saw an article about the same thing. I think probably, and that is catching on. Yeah, we've got solutions for all this shit. We can do it. It's going to take a little while, but it is, like I say, as the old order gets shakier, more and more people are going to be rethinking things and opening up a little bit, and hopefully it'll be a not too bloody a transition.
I don't think it'll be bloody.
Oh, it's already bloody. Jesus Christ, man! Look at the newspaper.
No, I mean domestically in the United States.
Oh, fuck the United States. This is Earth. This isn't the United States we're talking about.
Oh, I
Earth
see. I see what you're saying.
is at a turning point.
So, I mean, if China has 2.5 billion people, you could only imagine that. What's funny about China is their manufacturing quality. It just decreases in quality, like not exponentially, but
Really? God, the stuff I've gotten from China is excellent. So I guess maybe depends on what you're getting and where.
well, what I'm saying is they cut corners in using cheaper material and different
For a lot of
manufacturing.
things,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, I mean, if there is, what do you call humans an androcyte?
Huh?
You call humans ants or androcytes? Star
Star
sites, what are they called?
Oh no, they're astrocytes.
Astrocytes.
In the brain, yeah. They perform a similar function for Earth that astrocytes perform for our brain.
Well, if there's an astrocyte implosion on the planet, I mean, the most dangerous I could only imagine India and China and like Bangladesh, anywhere where I don't know. See, you've been to the third world, right? I mean, you've been to Vietnam.
No, well, I've been to Vietnam, but that was a different planet.
Well, different planet in terms of the third world standard of
Well, I mean, it was war. You're not talking about. Well, anyway, whatever.
I'm just saying that the third world lifestyle is a little more zen because it's a lot less words. Maybe like if you're pulling carrots but still having a delicious meal in a moderate house, in a farm in India, because half the planet still lives outside of major cities.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, and I don't know much about them, and I don't know who knows much about them because they're sort of off the grid. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to all play out. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, my theory is, and Alan Watts was suggesting that the only reason we had a Great Depression was because we stopped printing.
Oh, listen, who cares? I don't want to. Yeah.
Well, the only point I have is that it's possible, because you said it's going to be a bloodbath or like a civil war.
I didn't say that. I said it could be. It already is a bloodbath right now. I mean, there are all sorts of wars going on. People getting murdered and bombed every day.
I know.
So,
so anyways, then I have to go back to my ultimate fundamental point or belief, which is there's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole universe.
Right. Yeah. Let's just make that a good, reasonable assumption. You don't have to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Just accept it as one reasonable assumption that might be applicable in certain circumstances.
Well, I talk to people every day who are I think you can call them hypocrites, but they're
Well, I call them brain damaged language monkeys.
well, when you talk to a faceless individual, you don't know their health problems, you don't know where they're living, you
No, I
don't
don't know anything except what I hear.
exactly. And so
Love it.
it's kind of interesting how someone who is very intelligent and knows a lot of words, especially about the law and legal cases. Anyways, you can do a diagnostic on somebody's intelligence just by within the first couple seconds or couple minutes.
Sure,
It's like
easy.
yeah. Beauty. It's like beauty. You know, you can
Yeah.
when you see a beautiful woman, it's like immediately easily identifiable. Anyways, my point is, I don't know. There's you know, I don't know. I guess I kind of like to make fun of people or roast them.
How old are you?
42.
Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And the reason why I like to roast people is because they don't get the cosmic universal joke and they're so wound up about, let's just say, you know, Smurfs or some racial identity politic. They're so concerned about a certain group of people who they view as being mischievous.
Let me ask you something. Why are you so concerned about them?
Because if you're like a Bodhidharma or a Bodhisattva and you've obtained joy or enlightenment, and you see people who are repeating themselves 100 plus.
Yeah, of course. Creating all the misery that they can absorb.
Well, I just feel like it's kind of fun to tease them because in a way, I mean, if you believe all communication is hypnosis, then everything I say is essentially suggestion. But if
teasing is better than pitying them.
Well, it's not like I'm really making fun of people. I'm trying to essentially play the fool or the court jester to make them realize there's something else happening here that I'm missing out on. Or,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I try to whatever if I'm talking to somebody, whatever I think they're expecting me to do, I try to come from the opposite direction. I mean, not always, but I usually try to foil whatever it is they're expecting.
I mean, that's the Tao. I am a definite contrarian, and my investment hypothesis has always been a contrarian type of attitude. But today
Works well for me.
It can work well, but if you're not, I heard Robert F. Kennedy say,
you don't have to be an asshole.
Exactly.
You can still be polite. I was an asshole for more years than I needed to be.
Yeah.
It was useful because it kept people away from me that I didn't want to interfere with. So it worked, but I realized eventually that it's better if people like me than if they think I'm an asshole.
I agree. I heard Kennedy say, I want people to know what I mean without being mean. So that soft-spoken voice can carry you far if it's intelligent.
Well, like I say, I think there's going to be a whole lot of serendipity in the next decade. I think things are coming together in unexpected ways. Connections are being made and new structures are forming. I hope that's what I'm going to see. That's what I'm looking for anyway.
I was in a room on this app and I was like, how are there so many stupid people in all the positions of power? Somebody had a term to describe that as if that's an actual paradox. There's a term for it. I don't remember what he said, but it's suggestion. I mean, anyways, politics is very difficult. I've been removed from the ballot I'm going to try to write an appeal to the Illinois election state board. I mean, I basically already have, but they've removed me from the ballot, and now I have to submit a write-in candidacy. I think by January 15th, and I'm not sure if there's a certain number of write-ins that I need to get. Well, anyways, it'll be the anyways, it's the primary. So I'm going to lose the primary, but anyways, that's the whole thing. The whole thing is like a racket. And today I have this like 35-page document on objections to petitions for challengers. It's a very thick document. Every page is completely filled top to bottom, and there's so many definitions. So I know this.
And you're going to do this? You're going to do all this?
No, I'm pretty much done. I'm done with all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, fuck that.
Well, what I'm saying
the United
is,
States will be gone in a few years. Fuck them, man. That's not where the future is.
well, when I hear them say, even though now I thought about it, I was like, actually, it's kind of smart. If they put data centers in outer space, they're definitely going to be doing that. There are so many people.
Why would they put them in outer space? Why would they go to the expense of that?
Because that's the insanity. That's the stupidity that I'm talking about. That it's like, if you can think it, they will do it, and they're already going to outer space.
Who is this they that you're talking to? Who is that?
SpaceX, Google, IBM, everybody. I mean, it's fucking.
No, it's economically stupid. They're not that stupid. Why would they build those fucking big, huge things out in space when they can just build them here?
Well, look at Starlink. It's already here. They're already doing it.
Starlink's a separate issue.
It's technically a data center.
You could look at it. Yeah, who knows what's possible in the future? I don't see. Well, anyway, that's just not even an issue.
Well, when I saw that article, I started laughing. It said they did this article. It was like the New York Times. They did this interview, or it was New York Post. I could get you the link.
Well, whatever. What was the point?
The point is, I started laughing when I realized it's just clickbait. But then a couple of days later, I started laughing, and I was like, God damn it. They probably will start doing that, because they're already spending so much money. I saw in Louisiana that the Facebook Meta AI Center will use more energy than the entire state of Louisiana.
No, God. You need to do some better reading.
I don't know if it was annually.
It's just bullshit. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of parts to this puzzle. Energy, everyone's whining about how much energy these setups are taking. It's trivial. We waste so much energy now.
Yeah.
That the projections, the most outrageous projections, in 3 years, AI could be taking something like 7% of the total energy output of the planet. Okay, 7%. That's one of the highest predictions. 7% of the total output of energy on the planet.